Hello, everybody, and welcome to the D.M.C podcast. We're here with episode number 4 with your hosts, myself, Cody Hunter, and then again, the legendary Adam Rigby. Good to see you again, my bro.
Great to be here, mate. What's up, everybody? Another amazing day, mate.
Here we go. We're here.
TGITA.
Thank God it's today.
Thank God it's today. Echoed out of the last podcast. Echoed out of the podcast and stuck with me. And that's what it's all about, those little things that stick.
Absolutely.
How's your week been, bro? How's your week been?
It's been really good. It's been really good. Just doing what needs to be done, ticking along, hopefully making some gains in life. But yeah, no, it's been a good week, mate. I've had my mind on this a lot. I've been really excited to get back to doing another episode, staying consistent and showing up continuously for our supporters and our listeners and our viewers and each other. So mate, again, I'm fired up. So again, 4 weeks in, no denying the momentum. It's been awesome, mate.
Momentum's a great word, bro, because I guess first and foremost some gratitude. That's one thing that I have been practicing on the back of the last recommendation of reading that you gave me, and I think we're going to talk more about that later on. But practicing gratitude and certainly a hell of a lot of gratitude for having the ability to just sit down and chat with you and the people that are listening and reaching out to us. Some amazing feedback, some people from across the world reaching out to us via DMs and letting us know that they're listening and appreciate us, and actually got quite emotional last week, mate, after I had a listen of our podcast and got quite emotional in terms of the direction that it went. And as the listeners will know, we sit down with an idea in mind, and the whole idea of this is having a deep and meaningful chat and seeing where the conversation leads us. So that was not planned. That little speech and my pen waving wasn't planned. It just, that passion just started to well up, and the things we were starting to talk about, and I just had to let that out, bro. So thank you for giving me the opportunity just to let it out.
So good, mate. You're right, and it is a platform, mate. It's a chance to, if we don't have the platforms in our lives to be able to share things that fire us up, then we've got to create them. You can't just sit there and go, oh, there's no area for me to belong to. No, screw that. You develop the platform, develop the environment where you can dive deep and spread those beautiful things. Like you might have been able to recreate that in a different environment, but again, here we are being able to record it, present it to people, share it. Like, that's beautiful. Like, that's awesome. And so I think we need to take more control of our environment so we can do this more often, so people can hear, listen, and share, and that's awesome, bro. That was my highlight of last week for sure. Fired me up.
Yeah, mate. And we were brought together because of culture, right? The business that we work in is highly motivated by culture, and that was an important thing. So you get like-minded individuals, and when you find yourself in a situation where, like us, mate, we sit down and we start to chat, and a whole lot of positive things happen. We feel comfortable because we're in an environment with people we trust, something we really enjoy doing, because the energy that's created in those environments is infectious, and it's real, and it's meaningful. It's not just fronting up and being the happiest person in the unhappiest room. It's been able to bounce off like-minded individuals, and like we say, talking about being identified as maybe a little bit crazy. Awesome, amazing. One thing that has been identified, there are people just like us, and what we're hoping is this stimulates more conversations, that gives our viewers and listeners the bravery to go and have those stimulating conversations, to go find out more, to go and learn more, to put themselves in environments to be successful, to let those little things, that baggage that they're carrying, and that overwhelming sense of self-belief that we want to build and encourage. So I just want to throw some recognition out to, if this is number 4 podcasts and you're listening and have listened to all 4, man, we appreciate it. We really do. You're part of what makes this journey great, and we hope that you truly understand as we get through this, how great you are, how powerful you are, how wonderful this life is, how precious it is, and why we shouldn't waste a moment. And that's certainly what we're about, my bro.
Definitely, mate. And it does go back to that gratitude, because the whole thing around that, there's ways to practice gratitude and there's ways to talk about it in a morning journal and things. But it is when you really get into it and you see what people are really, really grateful for, that it comes to put things into perspective. You know, the thing we talked about last week, the whole, you know, the negative phone call, the angry customer, the someone who's, you know, who's cut you off in the highway on the road and they've flipped you the bird or whatever. Like all these things, it's like, when you get yourself in the right mindset, none of that can affect you. None of that can harm you. None of that can touch your feelings and your energy for life. You know, like if you let it, so you're just going to be aware of what you're grateful for. And I like this practice. So I think I just want to go into this one right away, because as we talk about every week, we are quite tactical in what we want to do. I mean, I'm a very tactile person. I like to learn things and study things and apply things. I'm like, that's how I do. That's how my system works. And so there's a stage where a lot of us will learn something, but then we don't necessarily know how to apply that. And so when it does come to this whole gratitude thing, which I did a journal years ago, it was called the 5-minute journal. Have you heard about that one?
I haven't heard the 5-minute journal, bro, but hit me. Hit us.
So it's like a daily and it's a morning and evening routine you put into, and there's a journal, there's some prompts you use, you know, what are you grateful for? And you list the 3 things, you know, what would make today great? There's a couple of other prompts actually that I can't even remember. It's been so long, but over time I did that for a long time. I would have gone through probably 3 different journals, following along that system. But I found that you start being really repetitive in it. You start writing the same thing every morning. You know, what are you grateful for? Hot coffee, walks by myself, hugs and kisses from my kids. You know, there's all these things you're really grateful for. Whereas the other practice, which I think is really important, which got prompted from a book that we're currently reading, a new one, which I'm loving.
A new one.
But the prompt is like, and from Atomic Habits too, bro, there was that whole thing about point and shoot, you know, point and shoot, you know, which I don't want to go that side of it too much because that's probably for later, but point the thing out when it happens. Don't always wait to the end of the day to be like, what am I grateful for? And you're like, it's hard to remember, or even in the morning, but point and shoot when those things happen. You know, when something awesome happens, like a good conversation, and you walk away and you go, that was awesome. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have that conversation with that person, or even say it to that person. When something's happening where you've got led into traffic, the opposite of what I said before, and you're like, fuck, how sick is that? I'm super grateful for that. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you for that. So when you point and shoot when they actually happen, think about how much more powerful that is versus trying to remember something at the end of the day when the feeling from it's fleeted anyway. It's gone anyway. You're sort of trying to remember it and get back in it. Imagine the power of doubling up on it. So point and shoot, I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to talk to you right now, or that conversation was amazing, or thank you. How good was that service today at that restaurant? You know, so for me, that's one I haven't been very good at. I've been very good at my morning routine in my diary, which I talked about last week, but the point and shoot is one that I want to get way more active on and be present in those times where I'm really grateful, and just to point it out and say it, and whether it's to someone else or to myself, but that's what I want to try to do. It's my mission, my pledge.
Awesome, man. And it's that being present, because off the back of that little read, that gratitude was something that impacted me, and I applied it straight away. And even getting up super early that morning or the following morning, I was grateful to have the opportunity to do that. For me to be able to get up, to still have energy, to have a purpose, because the drive is about fulfilling the mission for me, to going in to helping some more people. So grateful to put myself in the opportunity, and also recognizing the part that I played in that, giving myself the recognition. And I think that's one thing we don't do enough. Give ourselves recognition for the situation we're in. Now, recognition is a funny thing, eh? And I think we talked about it last week, and that unleashed that power conversation / exorcism that went on as the volume increased and my temperature, the room temperature increased. Got fired up and passionate about it, because obviously it means something to me. But you know, we have a tendency to give tough moments or difficult people recognition for the moment, rather than ourselves recognition for getting over that moment. So we hang on to those negative things too much. So if you do come to that stage, appreciate the moment you're in, but the recognition should 100% go to you for getting through that moment. Okay. Why recognize something that was incredibly negative and give them the credit? Fuck that. You deserve the credit for stepping up, for taking on that moment and moving forward. Like I said last week, man, we all have the power. It's the strategy that we need to unleash it. But the mindful thing, you know, man, what a change. Because when you go through and you're in that moment and you're pointing and shooting, it just changes your whole outlook. And all of a sudden, it's almost like you're reprogramming your brain and your body and your mind. And you realize how many awesome things are around you, how many awesome people, how many amazing moments. And man, I know you say, okay, I'm just going to do 3, but holy shit, if you started doing that, you would not stop. And then you'd recognize what a positive, uplifting, loving environment you have. Of course, there are challenges that circle us all. Of course, there are negative things that circle us all. But if we're recognizing, giving recognition to those great things, those people, and telling them and passing that shit on, you know, maybe they'll get greater gratitude. Tell people that you appreciate them. Make sure that they know that the friendships, the discussions, the conversations, thank you for being there. Thank you for the moment. I certainly appreciate the energy that that I get and the feedback that I get when I'm in those moments, because I say all the time, you know, if you're in a position where you train people, without people there, you'd be some idiot yelling in an empty room, you know, and people don't give themselves enough credit for creating the experience, because it's a 50-50 split. You've got a coach, but without the people that are fronting, that are willing to put their minds, their bodies on the line, you know, without them wanting to test themselves, to go places they've never gone before, without them screaming when it gets hard, or when the music, when the jam comes on, you know, that's the experience. It's a 50-50. You play your part in every situation. We talk about it, the responsibility, that positive, the positive input, positive outcome.
Yeah.
So
you got to truly send it.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Well, I was gonna, you got to send, like, as a class, you know, in a group like that environment. And that's, I suppose, as you walk around life, the same thing. If you're not 100% convicted in what you're doing, like what we're doing in the front of that group, how do we expect everyone else to buy into it as well? You know, if you're like, oh, today we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Yeah, great, cool. 3, 2, 1, go. Like, how do we expect people to give themselves to the experience? Because they follow our lead. I remember coaching a class years ago while I was over in Korea, and I remember saying to them, we were doing like partner carries, and everyone's like, my coaches from Korea would be like, oh, we can't do that because people won't want to touch each other or carry each other, because it's sort of, you know, like a spatial thing there that they won't want to do. There's a lot of strangers in the class and whatnot. And I'm like, and so the feedback was then, I said, look, I've had no issues doing that. It's because you're the one who's worried about it. You're looking at it as a hindrance. I guarantee if I get in front of that class, every single person will have no issues with picking each other up off the ground. And what do you know? No one had a single issue, because I sold it. I was convicted in what I wanted to do. I was like, let's go, grab a partner, let's go, do-si-do. Get someone on your shoulders, do a princess carry, do a firefighter carry. We're going to run 800 meters together. And because they trust in my energy and my excitement and my conviction, that they just follow your lead. They're like, of course we're going to do this. But how are you supposed to stand in the front and be like, hey guys, we should do you want to pick each other up? Like, do you want to go hard in this workout? Well, no one does, because you don't even want to do it. You know, we've got to show it. We're going to live it and be like, let's go. And they'll be like, okay, game on.
Awesome, bro. I mean, that's our mission, and we'll unfold it as we go through each and every episode, to be the absolute best we can be, whether it's spiritually or physically. Some people will test themselves either way. You know, the great thing, if you've got a body, you're an athlete, and it's true. We can all move in different ways. We can do different things, regardless of size, regardless of height, regardless of ethnicity. We all have the ability to do something, whatever that is. So make the most of it. Identify where you're at your best. You know, atomic habits, putting yourself in a position where you know you'll be successful, where there's more chance of you being successful. You know, like, why would I enter the CrossFit Games when I have no experience in CrossFit Games? Could I eventually train to a stage where I could do some of the things? 100% I could if that was a focus for me, and I put my mind and body, committed myself to it. Hats off to those people that do it. Now, there is a young lady at the gym that is doing the CrossFit Games workout, trying to bust the 20-minute cap. Saw her and asked her last night, actually, and she'll be listening because I know you are. Why? You love the merch. You love the merch. And has been recommending it to her friends and flatmates, so thank you. But the look on her face as she described, I asked her how it was going because I saw it on Insta, popped up, and hats off, mate. Such an amazing physical and mental challenge to get through. But the process, not only once, she said, okay, I did it in 19 minutes and 36 seconds. I'm like, high five. She goes, but wait. And she'd actually done it 3 times after that to improve. And got it down to just over 15 minutes. But the perseverance, but the look on her face was absolute gold to see that joy. And I'm like, it's all you. Isn't it amazing when you break the back of a challenge? And she said, yeah, look, to be honest though, it was the learning process. So once I did it once, I knew there were things that I can improve on. So that's what I worked on. Same with the second time around, and each time a minute came off. Sitting down, going through that amazing challenge, breaking it into components, thinking about the weak spots where you could gain improvement. But just the big thing about seeing that improvement, it was kind of day after day, because it was a short space. I would probably need about 6 months recovery from one of those workouts. Blessed be the young.
I'm still recovering. I only did it once, but my back is ruined. But in the old days I would have done it more than once. Yeah,
exactly. But the opportunity, the energy, the enthusiasm, and the mindset. So my friend out there, hats off to you. I think that was bloody awesome. And I walked out of that conversation just uplifted. Just uplifted, feeling great and celebrating her victory, not going, reflecting, so turning it around, making it personal, making it detrimental towards myself.
That's right.
As we do, we beat ourselves up. We've,
so good.
Throw it down, turn it into a negative, walk away crying. But it was an absolutely uplifting moment. So thank you. You know who you are, and there's some merch coming.
Mate, I do love that. I love that whole going back, like we talked about, going back to the drawing board. Like you play a game of footy, you play a game of sport, you win or you lose, you spend the week reflecting, going back to the drawing board. How do we improve on this again? How do we get better at it again? And then you go and you play again. It's just like life. Every day you wake up in the morning. How was yesterday? What can I improve on? How could I make this better? How could I act in the situation? And you give it another go. You win some, you lose some. Some days are good. Some days are not good. Some days you crank up and you just, you're very productive and you do lots of great stuff. Other days, but then again, on those other days, like we talked about, always do your best. Maybe making your bed that morning was the best you could pull that whole day. And that's fucking awesome. It depends on what's happening so much. Depends on everything. But I love that. I think people are really quick to have that mentality about a sport, but why not use that mentality about our days? That's what I like to put it into a game perspective.
Yeah, why not, mate? I mean, I used to scoff. A guy told me once he was an office athlete because he was an ex-rugby guy. He said he turned himself into an office athlete. And I had trouble processing it back then, but I get it now. He changed his focus, he changed his spirit, his game. Not necessarily his identity, because he was a unit and still trained. But he just focuses passion on becoming better at his job. And that was him day in and day out. So don't beat the guy up for it. Celebrate it.
That's right.
Celebrate our successes. When someone is brave enough to punt up and throw themselves out there and tell you of an exceptional feat, whether athletic, mental, spiritual, physical performance, celebrate it, be a part of their journey, and praise. Not that people are looking for praise, but pass it on, pay it forward. Use that energy and use that lesson in that moment to say, man, if I can apply that same sort of logic and energy to something that I'm passionate about, fronting up for a podcast, for instance, go in and teach in a class, then do it. I was actually going up to train some trainers, so talk to some trainers about some technical stuff, and an important part of that was exactly that repetition. Are we actually training to get better? Are we thinking about getting better? Are we analyzing the right things rather than the wrong things. You know, when we're in those moments, what are we looking for? Let's talk about some technical stuff versus some philosophy, you know, and talk about some tools around it. But also, you know, the best of the best, how do they get to that point? Work. It's work. You talk about analysis. Every sports team does it in every situation. We can talk about every competitive environment. Everything is on film now. Everything is broken down. Every conversation, even this, can be analyzed. And it's how do opposing teams turn your strength into an opportunity for themselves? How do they find a path around your strengths? You know, as much as when we're trying to analyze ourselves, and if you are looking at improving your performance at a sport, whether it's your technique, do you actually take the time to put the camera down and film yourself? Because, you know, we referred it to swimming, when I feel like I'm an Olympic swimmer, but what I look like is possibly a duck.
Yeah.
But the reality, my perception versus the actual reality, if I go through with that perception in mind and continue to swim, I'll never improve. But if I look at it and honestly look at it, and it's hard, looking at yourself objectively, really trying to identify a path of improvement, not beating yourself up, but recognizing there are things you can work on. You know, it's easy to get down and say, I'm not perfect. Hey, catch up, everybody. Nobody's perfect. Don't believe Instagram, right? No, nobody is perfect. They all have demons. They all have things to deal with. You know, they all have stuff. They all have challenges. Like I said, the most successful people have had opportunity, but they've worked super hard to get to that space, and they want to continuously improve. And if that's a mindset for you to carry, don't sit there thinking you're at win one game, think you've won them all.
Mate, it's so good.
Continuous improvement.
And like you say, the video is a good one. And that, remember when people would say, you know, oh God, I can't stand the sound of my own voice when I watch a video of myself talking. Oh, it's so awful. And it's all it is because you're just so not used to it, right? And so that's this thing when you want to record yourself performing, you know, a power clean at the gym, for example, you know, or you're just not used to doing it. So do it more often. Record yourself more often, so you're comfortable with your voice, so that when you hear it, you don't cringe. That's your voice. That's what people get to hear every day. We use videos in the gym all the time because it's the best way to be able to slow everything down. When you've got a big dynamic, fast movement, you know, again, like let's say a hang power clean, I want to be able to grab the bottom of that video camera and slide it slowly across and show every single part of the movement, where it is, where it's at, what we could do better, how we could change it. And you're just slowing it all down. It's a beautiful thing. Mirrors don't do it. The naked eye can't do it. You know, it can, but I want to show you, though. I can see it and I know what I need to fix, but I want to show you. So slow it down. And the video thing, man, we used to do for my degree, my coaching degree I did a few years back now. We had to videotape every coaching session we ever took. And it was like coaching a sports team, swimming athletes with disabilities. We had to record them all and analyze every single part of it, do reports on it, give it to our professors who also watch the videos. Now that's scary, especially in those days when you're, you know, an early 20-year-old who doesn't like the sound of his own voice, not confident, mumbling, always got something in your hand, which I have right now, but got a pen or a marker and you're clicking things and you're fidgety, but you stop that stuff very quickly when you start to see it and you analyze it, and you can be like, okay, cool. Be aware of that. How do I fix not clicking a pen? Put your hands in your pockets so you can't do anything. You know, like there's ways to control that stuff. Yeah. Got it.
Pink gone.
Yeah. But you know, there's always ways to do these things. And again, we're just analyzing, checking it all out, building. And it'll be a tiny percent of improvement over time. The improvement won't be bang instantly, but you've just got to keep putting in those little gains at it. 1% better than yesterday. 1% better than the last podcast, whatever.
100%. And that's what that definitely our aim is, to improve and continue to deliver world-class, universal content. And the thing is, we'll get to go, I mean, both Cody and I watch this, we listen to it. And that's the important thing. If I can sit down and listen to it, if there are moments when last week, like I say, I sat down and got emotional, not only because of the things I was talking about, but the response you had was incredible, amazing. It was a real life story that you'd attributed a similar scenario to, and I felt it. You know what I mean? I felt that. That was an incredible little moment. And this will be trying to describe what this is about. I don't think that's what this is about. You know, people are saying, well, you know, what's it about? I said, well, look, it's a deep and meaningful chat. We're going to deep dive into a whole range of stuff. Is it about self-improvement? Of course. Is it about self-belief? Of course it is. Is it about doing things better? Yeah, of course it is. But it's going to be about a whole range of stuff. Is it just aimed at males? No, of course it's not. It's aimed at everybody. We want you all to be a part of it. You're all of value, and that's a big part of it. We are all of value, and we need to recognize that as well. Hey, mate.
Absolutely.
You know, trying to pigeonhole it, but we'll sit and we'll analyze this. Remember when you were a kid, you know, and you've got a speech at school and you stand up and you do your rehearsal in front of your parents. And my speech today is about tractors. In 1944, John Deere developed the first powered tractor for farms. Good, Adam. Yeah, right, Adam. Yeah, amazing. Thank you. But it's the same thing. It's that same level of feedback. You're probably not going to get the enthusiastic, you can do it. Depends on your parents, right?
Yeah.
No, Adam, that was not good enough. Say it with conviction. What's wrong with your punctuation? Project your voice. But sit back. Whatever it's you're doing, if whatever it is you are doing, if it is in a public forum where you're going to talk in front of people, film it. Have a look at it.
Good.
Don't over analyze it. You will hone in on some stuff and you will think, oh shit, did I say that? Do I do that regularly? Are there things that I could eliminate? Of course. You go on the assumption that we all have a gravelly, deep masculine voice like Cody. And sorry, mate. Reality is, see that I've gone to my habit. I've picked up another pen. This one's a red one. Be gone.
You even hunted that one, mate. You searched that on the floor. You made an effort. Hands free. There you go, mate. Put them together. There you go. It's in the middle.
Okay, there we go. And we're back.
I just picked it up as well.
Oh, it's a crutch. It's a crutch.
I love it, mate. I love it.
Hey,
so good.
Bro, one cool thing. You know, we were talking about mindfulness and being in the moment. And I kind of relate it back because initially, you know, we were talking about when I was doing the Ironman and how I learned to juggle. And about holding the ball in hand. Unbeknownst to me, I was practicing at that time being mindful, showing mindfulness in terms of my focus and dedication to one thing, to one moment, to one person. So I have been unwittingly practicing and promoting mindfulness.
There you go, mate.
Being in the moment. I've been doing it. But hadn't recognized it because I didn't really understand what it was. So it's not as scary as people think it is. It's just that dedication to a moment or a thing, letting everything else filter back like a conversation, bro, giving 100% of myself to this conversation.
That's right.
And that's what we are all about. So I was like, yes, shit, yes.
And think about how many people are doing that.
Moment of celebration. Yeah, I know, unrecognized. And the scary thing, you know, if you say, oh, hey, but this is about mindfulness, and people are like, oh shit, no, I'm out, tap out, I'm not into it. Well, maybe you're practicing it already. We just want you to identify it and recognize it and praise it, because good on you. Good on you for taking the time to actually identify that these moments are super important to you, like, you know, spending time with your kids. Drop the phone, leave it behind. Having dinner, family dinner. You know, the great thing where you have the basket and you put the basket on and all the phones go in as your kids get older, I guess. Technology. One thing we've done, bought a table that's as big as a truck. But what does it mean? Dinner time. Dinner time is food on the table. Dinner time is conversation. And even if it's a micro moment, even if people are watching whatever, even if people are doing whatever, we will come together and sit down and enjoy each other's company and the fine cuisine that I've taken the time to prepare.
Mate, I rate the dinners. I rate the family dinners, mate. Yeah, we're the same. We do them all the time. Mate, I want to talk a little bit more about that that whole being present thing, the whole phone down thing, because that's a big one. And my kids now are at the age where phones can dominate things. They don't have their own phones, but they can find a way to have a tablet or whatever it is. But we took that whole being present thing, and I think that we need to. It's okay at home. It's great at home, right? And the challenge is to put your phone away. And I did challenges in the past that were no cell phone use. It was like a 30-day program, for example. And our social challenge would be no cell phone use in front of kids, friends, or family, right? So if you had to use your phone, remove yourself from the situation. So if you had a dinner table, then leave the dinner table. If you had a restaurant, leave the restaurant table and go use your phone over there. Don't just sit there and go, oh, just going to shoot a quick text. I'll be back in, like get up and leave. So I was sort of jokingly treat it like smoking cigarettes. You don't smoke a cigarette at the table. You're going to get up and leave. Right. So this is your new smoking in front of people. Right. So, so it's the be here now challenge. Right. So it's very difficult. And every time you pick your phone up, for example, in front of your kids, you would lose that particular point for the day over a 30-day period. There was, there'd be a nutrition target, a workout target, and then a social target, which was that. Out of all the ones that people got hit consistently, that was the hardest, but also the most rewarding that a lot of people would comment on. Because the training and nutrition, of course, we all know we should be doing more of it, and we're aware of that, but we're not so aware about how often this goes in our faces in front of our kids when they've called your name for 5 times in a row. Dad, 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 dad. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, what was that? Like you're just so distracted by it. So
we'll try to justify it, eh? We'll try to justify
it. Yeah, just getting this quick message done. Yeah, got a quick thing of work to do. Yeah, and it's huge. And I think that whole awareness is the key. But then also the awareness in public, right? Like to actually, if you want to level that thing up, I mean, number one should be a no-brainer at home. At home should really be a no-brainer because everyone's come home from their day and now it's a chance to be together, but everyone's on their phones at the dinner table. That's a bit of a screw up, and we all do it sometimes. But I think in public, if we also make the intention of being more present with those around us, with the people that you walk past on the street and you smile and say hello to, or someone in the restaurant or a cafe or whatever. I mean, but you've got to have the intention of it. If your intention is to be ducked down and hide from everybody, which can often be the case, that's one thing. But the intention of being open to be like, I'm going to have a conversation with someone today who's a complete stranger. I'm going to just do my best. I'm just going to be open, present, and say hello and see what happens. Like, that's cool shit. And that could change someone's day. I mean, that could be an amazing part of their day.
Yeah, man. It's like the old rock concerts, eh? You think of the rock concerts of old, and now everybody's holding a phone up or looking through the phone. And guaranteed, peeps, someone will film it. Some of my fondest memories
high
are
level.
concerts that I never had a phone back then. But you will remember it. There will be someone that will film it. Put yourself in that moment, park your phone and just enjoy and celebrate. Take a look around, not through the phone. Use your eyes, take in more. Because what does the phone do? It compresses the environment and pushes it through the small screen. But 360 degrees, man, take a look around. Turn around, open your eyes, open your ears, look at the people around you, look at the joy. Okay, so you spread your focus, your peripheral, because there's so much more happening outside of that little square box, outside of that little camera. And it's the same with the conversations. And if you go through town, you'll see people walking with their head down, phone on, walking into things. You'll see a dinner table, people just looking at their phones. What for? If you don't want to be there, if you don't want to be there, don't be there. If you want to be somewhere else, go somewhere else. But devote the time that you have. Just have a deal with your friends and say, guys, super challenge here, mate. I love you guys, you know that. But you know what? We're going to ditch the phones, put them in a bag, because nothing outside of this moment matters to me. What matters to me is you guys in this moment, here and now. Let's have fun.
That's right.
Does it matter if there's photos of the moment? Missed opportunities? The opportunity's here. It's bank it.
Yeah,
it's here. The amount of memories that I can celebrate and still remember, thankfully, touch wood, the memories that I carry in my heart, in my head, the connections that I've made without taking a photo. Holy shit, peeps.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
Yeah. And how good is it when you lose your phone or your battery's dead and you do go without it? Like no one goes, oh my God, can't believe I haven't got it, because you're forced to leave it at home. You end up enjoying it more. You're like, oh, that was actually really good.
Once you get over the anxiety and realize what a big part of the phone is
Yeah.
of your life, and you're like, holy shit, I feel like I've just, I'm having an out of body experience. I've left everything that's important to me. Bullshit. It's a phone with some stuff on it. If people want to get hold of you urgently, they'll get hold of you eventually. Will you miss out on a text? That's okay.
Yeah.
Organize a dinner. Get 5, 6 of your best friends, the connections. Take your best friend out for a coffee. Oh, I just called for a chat. Let's catch up. Call them on it. Call them on the BS. Let's not just have a chat so you can sit there on the phone and sort of look over and go, yeah, no, things are good. Yeah. Get into that eye contact. Okay.
Yeah. Get up close. Yep.
1-to-1, 2-to-2. Switch chairs so people aren't sitting with the same people. It's like musical chairs at a table. Connect, high five, celebrate.
And
Life
also
is for living.
If you have an issue with distractions, like a lot of us do, then make sure you are the one with your back to the crowd. Have your back to all the distractions and have the person in front of you that you want to give their attention to. So I used to be a big one of those, and you see people you go to a restaurant with, and they sit with their back to the wall facing the restaurant, and you can see, you can't cut, everyone's sort of looking around, they're like distracted. If you're that person, put your back to the crowd and face the one person you're with and give them your undivided attention. It will change the whole experience. It's crazy, but you've got to be ready to give it a try, and don't I've got to see the door all the time. I have to see the crowd.
Even in the loudest environments, hey, they'll block the ears, because you'll get that conversation straight in front of you. And if it's too loud, say, man, I'm fucking loving this conversation. Do you want to let's go somewhere quiet. I mean, that might come out wrong. But just because someone wants to chat doesn't mean there's anything sinister involved. If it's a close friend of yours, then go for it. Or call them up on it and say, hey man, I really enjoyed, we didn't really get to have a good chat, but mate, let's catch up and shoot the shit. Let's go out for a coffee or have a lunch and sit down and have a chat, have a talk about stuff, enjoy some good food. There are some fine cafes around this country. We should be supporting local business. They're a great place to go and have that conversation amongst noise, amongst energy. I mean, for me, like, the cafes are my second and third offices. I like to sit down. I love the noise. I love the energy. I love the activity. I almost need that. I need to plug in. I struggle when it gets quiet, or I used to struggle more, should I say. Not so bad now, because it's wrecking that discipline around the moment and actually putting tasks in front of myself so I don't find myself. I'm more likely to get distracted in quiet environments than I am to get distracted in loud environments. But hey, we are all different. And again, what do? We celebrate our differences. Another thing that came up, which I thought was funny, and we talk about excellence in anything, and a word that's bandied about a lot, when people excel at something or are exceptional at something, we use the word freak. Right? Yeah. What do you say? Tiger Woods, oh mate, the guy's a freak.
He's a freak.
Michael Jordan, man, the guys are freak. And that's how we compartmentalize it, and we analyze it. Why do we do that? Because we put them up on a pedestal in the assumption that we could never do what they do. A lot of factors come into play there, but look, man, let's embrace the freaks, because they're not freaks. They're people that are operating at an exceptional level. Again, let's go back to the fact that they've done the work. And if people call you a freak, bravo, that means you're fucking good at what you do. And I love that. I love that. If people can't figure you out, they think you're a little bit weird, maybe you think differently. Bravo, fucking brilliant. Everybody thinks differently. You're brave enough to actually articulate it and speak to people rather than sit back and fester and not have the confidence to tell people what you're feeling or thinking, to not have those discussions. So if you're a freak, if people are calling you a freak, that means you're really good at what you do. We love you.
Yes.
We love you. Even
thing.
Cody, some of the stuff. I mean, I was thinking of you going, freakish. But mate, he picks stuff up and puts stuff down consistently. He has knowledge. He does research. He surrounds himself with people who have knowledge, who do research. He learns. He lives it. He breathes it. He does it. And the most critical thing that makes you successful is your willingness to open up and share it. You know?
And how much time are you putting into it? It's that whole thing, like, you know, Tiger Woods, sure, freak, but you can't really, you know, he's just another human being. It's just the fact that he's been putting in how many hours of work since he could bloody walk. You know, like the
10,000 hours, eh?
10,000. Oh, mate.
10,000 hours.
But it's that thing. It's like, oh, you know, I wish I could play guitar better. It's like, okay, how much time did you play guitar last week? Well, none. Well, of course. So, well, it doesn't really make any sense. You know, like there's a reason you're not improving because you're not doing any work. You've got to show up and then you've got to do the work. That's number 2 is do the work. You can't just expect to be there. Being there is awesome. Showing up is awesome. But there is a part that needs to be done now. You've got there. Now you have to do something.
Yeah. If you want to do it, do it. If someone asks you, can you play the guitar? And you say no, bullshit. You just choose not to. Can you learn to play the guitar? Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
Have you got the commitment, or did you pick up a guitar? No. So don't say you can't do it. That is the C word that, you know, to me, and I've talked about it before in open environments, the C word. I can't do it. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Have a look around. Look on YouTube. Tell me you can't do it. You know, I'll show you a guy that climbed Mount Everest with no arms and no legs. Tell me you can't do it again. And our mate, hey, old Goggins, you know, running on 2 broken legs, 160 kilometers. I call bullshit. You can't get up and walk 5 minutes or 15 minutes during a day. Look, sometimes it's tough. I'm not saying times don't get tough. I'm not saying things aren't difficult for you in an environment, but you will find a way. Some beautiful examples, especially now where it's hard. When you're locked down, you know, when your door is literally closed and you can't get out of your house because the government has said no. And we've got some friends overseas that are doing the same thing, but are finding ways to communicate, to celebrate, and still do something. Perfect opportunity, team, not just to sit there and sweat in your own juice. If there's a musical instrument you can get, well, can you order stuff via the internet, or do you have a friend that maybe has a guitar that you could get safely? Are there things that you could learn? 100%. Could you learn a language without having to leave your home? Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Are there things you can do to get that 1%? Think about what you are truly passionate about. Okay. So, you know, when you find your passion and you chase it, you find your people. And when you find your people, you find your purpose, you know? And that's what we were talking about, those environments where we're just like, bang, bouncing off each other, sharing stories. And the moment you realize, like this, people, you are not alone. There are people like you. There are freaks. There are strange people. There are normal people. Hey, if you're normal, fucking amazing. You know what? If you're average, wow, average is pretty cool.
Average. What if you're super average? Hey, I'm super average, bro. That's a good one.
I'm well below average. I guarantee you're exceptional at something. So don't come at me with that bullshit. What are you rating yourself against? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, I went and played golf and I hit 104 and Tiger Woods hits 59 because I'm that means I'm shit. Or hang on, mate, you're playing golf for the first time. Why are you trying to punch yourself up against the world's best to start with? It's all relative. We all start somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you want to go through that process of reprogramming, re-engineering, start with your mindset and remove the T. I can. Not only that, it's I will. And then that will become I have and I am. I am. And then, you know, that as we do, mate, these conversations, like, you know, we get off this call and my brain is like a wheel out of control, you know, like the wagon, the horses are off and it's going downhill, and bits are flying off, and that's awesome. And I hope that's the same for, I mean, no, Cody, we talk about it all the time, mate. We think about a whole lot of stuff. And what we don't want to do is pump down too many notes, because it takes away from what we're truly trying to achieve, this little skyrocket that we fire up and it explodes in different directions. Beautiful, beautiful things. But it got me thinking as well, you know, when you say, oh, you want to go out, someone says, look, I have to go to the gym, or I have to go to work. You don't have to do anything, mate.
Yeah.
You want to do it. You chose to do it. You put yourself in that situation. Is anybody holding a gun to your head and saying you have to go to the gym? You do not have to. And if you find yourself saying that all the time and feeling like you have to do it, like it's a grind, are you in the right environment, or do you have the right attitude to embrace the challenge that you're about to put yourself through? I'm going to the gym tonight. I don't say I have to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym. I love it. I love it. The opportunity to meet new people. A couple of things. We had a field days, Central District's field days, whereas an agricultural event where you stand in a tent for 3 days and talk to people about what you do. Now, if it was the D.M.C podcast there, bro, one day it will be.
Yeah, that's
one day
right.
it will be. We are super passionate about it, and it's easy for the mindset to take over and go, oh man, I have to go to this thing. Was there an element of that? Yeah, but it is my job. I choose to do the things I do. Part of my job is this. And then I started to think, you know, I love meeting people. I'm passionate about my job. Okay. I think it really works. I like helping people. And that can lead to other conversations. I even talked to a guy about cycling. Funny that. And that led to his emailing me some stuff about some stuff I didn't know. I learned some stuff there. But here's me going and talking about something I'm passionate about, something that I really enjoy. There was some exceptional dumplings on site too for lunch. Love that. Beautiful chili sauce. Amazing. So the food, another great passion. But I put myself in an environment and thought about the things that I truly love. Okay. I chose to be there because this is my chosen path. You know, I want to do the things I do. This is my job. This is a job that I love. This is a job that I celebrate. Does it get difficult at times? Yeah, it does. Holy shit. It does. End of the month for us, bro. It is a stressful time. But if we go back to that, I chose this path. I want to be here. I want to do this. So if someone says, I have to be here, say, you don't have to do anything, mate. You don't have to do anything. No one's forcing you to do it. You want to do it. And if you want to do it, mate, how different is that experience when you get yourself to, oh, man, I have to go to the gym. Fuck. And that's a great thing about offering yourself new experiences and opportunities. Now, for those of you who don't know, in the cycling space, there's a variety of classes that you can do, interval-based training, but there's a new one. It's in a fully immersive experience called The Trip, where it's a 20-meter screen and a variety of virtual terrains that you sit and ride to. The instructor guides you through this terrain. And me seeing firsthand the difference between people wanting to be in a space rather than feeling they had to come to the gym. These classes are booked out weeks in advance. 60 bikes booked, done. People are excited. Where are we going? What are we doing? They want to be there, to feel the difference in energy, to see that on the people's faces before, during, and after is amazing. If you want to do something, your level will just increase in the impact that has rather than the grind.
Yeah, that's right. It's taxing grinding. It's grinding, crawling yourself out of bed because you have to go to the gym. Yeah, that's all energy you don't need to be using. You know, it's energy and it's effort. Where once you roll out because you get to go to the gym at 6 a.m, or it's become your day, it's become part of your lifestyle. It's when it becomes part of your lifestyle is when it's truly who you are. I'm someone who goes to the gym. Everyone knows I am. I've done it for years. It's what I do. I don't have to go. Of course, I don't have to go. But man, it's what I love to do, and I love going. And I get to go lots of times. You know, that's cool. It's such a good thing. You don't want to have that taxing. I have to do this. And I suppose if your job, or like you said, training even gets to that. Training, if you're training for a performance, or you're an athlete or a game, there's different levels of where your commitment gets. Well, your commitment is high, but your energy and the stress of it all can be at a different level versus training. For me, like, I'm just training to be fit and healthy and strong for as long as possible. I want to be able to do this when I'm 80, 90 years old. So there's not so much of an urgency of, holy shit, if I don't get this work done today, I could lose that race next week. So that sort of gets taken off it. And now it's purely like, just stay in it, sustain the work, keep it going forever, stay smooth, stay bendy, and stay strong, and it's cool to be able to do that every day.
Yeah, I mean, like, the environment for me, my why is definitely helping people. And as we talked about it previously, this is a great opportunity for us both to express that joy that we have for helping people, and to be able to do it on a wider scale. And as we do that, obviously, this is going to lead to, what, peeps, subscribe, hitting the button, liking it. We are pushing over to Instagram. Why we're doing that is we're going to do some live little runs, some little hits through the week, touch base with you, share a few ideas, a bit more content. So I mean, Cody's brilliant about this. He's the ideas. He's the hype man. But also, one thing that we want to be mindful of is when we're asking for feedback, it's difficult because your name's attached to it. You can contact us, DM us on Instagram, the D.M.C podcast, the _D.M.C _podcast on Instagram. You can DM us and have a chat to us, or at Real Blue Racer, or at Cody Hunter Coaching. Cody Hunter Coaching. You can DM us if you want to reach out, and we don't have to mention your name. That's not what we're about. And if you do know us personally and have our text, our numbers or our emails, and reach out to us, that's amazing. I had one incredible moment for me, which was super powerful. Someone that I truly respect, one of the most honest gentlemen that I have ever met, someone who's done a lot for me. I got a text one night late and I was asleep. I woke up in the morning and I'm like, fuck, okay, is everything okay? But they just wanted to reach out and say that they listened to the podcast and that it helped them with a couple of things, and just to say thank you. And again, that was where the emotion started to swell up a bit. If we can talk to or reach one person, and imagine if we have the ability to help people in your life, imagine if the impact was, well, I know that people will benefit from this. And again, I really love and appreciate, we really love and appreciate the fact that people are sharing this with their friends. So thank you for that. But, if you're feeling this way, imagine the benefit of someone also feeling this way. It is tough when we start talking about motivation, when we start talking about mindfulness. All we're saying is, if this is your first listen, go back to the first one, give it a shot. The idea is we're just starting to have a conversation, we're talking to each other, and a whole lot of stuff will come out. You are part of this conversation, okay? This is us talking with each other, to you, with you, for you. So celebrate it. And the more people we can take on this journey, the better. Like I say, we are focusing on the moment. We are focusing on this conversation. 100%. The phone is upside down. Okay, we can deal with that afterwards. What matters is Cody and I have a commitment to catch up and chat to each other. Like I say, again, this week, busy people, but it was cool actually releasing early. I was super excited, and as soon as that drops, I am frothing about doing the next one. I mean, we wouldn't have actually doing it daily. The fact that we are doing it weekly is we want to prop up and give them the opportunity. They're only an hour or just over an hour long. Man, you and I could talk for days.
Well, that's another reason why I'm actually really excited about the Instagram starting for that reason, because I mean, I'll drive to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, and some days all I want to do is shoot a quick monologue. Like, I just want to be like, hey, it's Monday morning, there might be a minute of content I just want to release, and I really want to do that for our D.M.C podcast listeners. I think the stuff that we can create throughout the day that we can chuck up there into our page is just another, it's not as much admin as compiling it, putting it together for a podcast and doing this. It's just like, hey, quick fire, boom, here's 60 seconds of a bit of a chat for your Monday morning. Like, that shit is what I think there's some real magic in that. And so once we start doing that, and again, we haven't even promoted the page, and we've already got people starting to follow it. So we know that there are people out there that are looking for it, finding it, giving it a little follow, standing by for liftoff. But that fires me up. I'm really excited to be able to just give more often, because yeah, mate, we could do this daily. We could do a 1 hour daily, no issue.
Too easy. and the thing is, bro, I truly love talking to you, because like I say, you have such a positive mindset, and the way that you express stuff, the energy you have, and especially for this podcast, I mean, we bounce off each other 100%, but your energy is infectious, and I can see why. You know, in those environments, I'd love to just come down and I will, mate, I'll come in and I want to experience the 5D 360 degree Chauncey experience. If you do see him at a gymnasium near you, go see the dude. Man, he's a mountain of a man, 9 foot tall, tan,
Be quiet,
shredded, walks around at 5% body fat all day, every day. Totally the legend.
Funny story. In high school, mate. In high school, funny story. Exactly, you said that. But in high school, one year, I remember we were in the gymnasium, and we're waiting, and a new girl came to our school from a new city girl came to our school, and she walked in, and someone just introduced her quickly to the crew, and she goes, "Oh, and this is Cody," and she goes, "That's Cody." She goes, "That's Cody Hunter." And I was like, obviously she had heard all these stories and was like, "Oh, disappointing. He's
normal. He doesn't have a robotic arm."
He's not even that big. He's like, what? I don't. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever floats your boat. But mate, just so funny, eh? Is that the guy? Because I think there's a funny with a mate of mine. He always says the same thing. It's one of those things where I'm actually seem way bigger than I am, because he thinks it's just because I'm way louder than everyone else and I yell a lot and I've got a deep voice. But when you stand beside me, I'm just the same size as everyone else. I might be a little bit thicker sometimes, but yeah, it's just a crack up. Like, say, you just gotta how you carry yourself, mate. You know.
I've had that experience, because having recorded some stuff through the gym, and when it goes out internationally, and some of the trainers are quite vertically challenged. And so someone did say to me, "Oh, so I thought you'd be taller."
Yeah.
Nope. This is kind of me. I've always been, all the same. Well, I wasn't always about 13. I grew about a foot and got incredibly sick from this chubby young kid to this overstretched, drained human that you see before you today. But it's funny, that perception. We are real people. We are not computer generated. We are not cyborgs sent from the future to brainwash you.
Yeah.
True story. Hey, mate.
True story.
And I love that. And embrace it. We're not asking you to be anything other than the wonderful, complex person that you are. And that's truly what we love. Speaking of what we love, Cody has a passion for backgrounds. What do you think of the background today, mate? Sunrise to sunset,
mate. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. I hope people are a new dawn. Yes, that's right. And we're pretty consistent. And of course, there's a couple of bit of different branding in the first legacy episodes, which are awesome. So, but yeah, I think we're doing pretty well, mate. There's been some good comments on the backgrounds. We're doing all right, mate. We're doing all right.
We love that. Come at us. Like I say, you can reach us. If you want to get hold of us, you can get hold of us. If you want to chat to us in the environments where you see us around, even in the street, if you see us, come up and say, "G'day." Again, it's, I don't know, humbling's not the right word, but I guess we came into this wanting to do this to help anybody out there that needs help, to make you realize that you're not alone, that there are people out there just like you, that everybody struggles. What can make a difference, what has the biggest impact, is your ability to believe in yourself. And we're going to carry that mantle for you, because we believe in you. We believe in your power to be great, and we believe in your uncapped potential, and your destiny will unfold before your very eyes. It's untapped. It's untapped. No one knows. You can't map out and tell me that you know what's going to happen for the next 10 years. If you're not happy, you can do something to change it. It's in your hands. You make the decisions in your life that are best for you, and that will affect everything around you. Because again, like we say, if you find or chase your passion, you find your people and your purpose, and the game will change. And it is a game. Accept the highs, accept the lows, just embrace it. Go out and charge. Like get amongst today. Get amongst it.
Mate, you've got to play.
And like I say, yeah. And remember, when you're in a situation where you're embracing fear or doubt, where you tell yourself, I have to be here, bullshit, you want to be there, how good is it? Remember, remind yourself, shit, I love this. I love this. That's why I'm here. And just feel, because you can feel it from the center, right? From the heart, well, off center. Okay, for those of you who are going to give us a bit of a lesson in human biology. Off center, you're going to feel that warmth and the impact it makes in the entire body, and it gets into the mind. One drives the other. Okay. I referred to it once as the love muscle. And
I love it.
Yeah, but there was a couple of people that just had filthy minds that took that completely the wrong way.
I don't know why they would have done that, mate.
The heart.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Love muscle.
Yeah.
The love muscle.
No, and also that underlying one, bro, that hashtag no regrets, mate. No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah, mate. So have no regrets. Play the game. You got to play your part, play in the right position, and do what you love and what you want. Otherwise, might have a lot of regrets.
You might have massive regrets. But if you put yourself into a situation where you do have the regrets, learn from it. Learn from it. Lift your game. Overcome it. Like my mate, my little CrossFitter, that learnt, adapted, overcame, smashed her target of 20 minutes down to 15. And again, the realization when you're in the middle of it, knowing you've done the work, knowing you've done the analysis, and in the middle of it all, the chaos which can appear hectic at times, she loved it, and she lifted, and she excelled. We love that. We love that. Mate. And that's in all of us. So thank you to everybody who's out there being a role model, being a positive role model. Remember, you are the energy. You are the blue sky on a cloudy day, okay? Be the rising sun. Be the warmth in the room. Winter's coming. Winter is coming. And it's a challenging, winter is coming. And it's a challenging time. So yeah, man, we have to be positive. You know, when it's 10 degrees colder and it's super dark outside, do you have to go? You want to go.
You want to
go. Do you have to get up? You want to get up. When the alarm goes, why does it go up? What is your why?
Yeah.
Are you accountable? Do you have other people like Mr. Hunter there waiting for you to help you excel in that environment? And if not, is there an environment where you think you can actually test yourself in? Have you been doing the same thing day after day for a long, long time? Is it the grind because it's way too familiar? It's time to switch it up, peeps. Back yourself, not into a corner, but strap on the jet engines and go.
Big one there, mate. I think in terms of being that whole attitude and mindset and being positive, etc. Like we've got to remember that these days, negativity is really loud. Negativity is so loud that it's everywhere. And if you live on your phone, you live on social media, you live on Facebook, you live on news, if you watch general news, negativity is deafening about where it is, what in the world. It's just shit's everywhere. And the sad reality is that negativity is winning the battle. And the other ones that are people that are cancel cultures and people that are complaining about everything and people that are trying to, taking everything personally on the planet is all against you. It's kind of, it just drags you in. It drags everyone in. Misery loves company, doesn't it? So we love to be in there complaining and whinging about everything, where we need to be louder with our positivity. And like you said, walk into that room, own what you're doing, be positive about what you're up to, really make an impact in the lives of people around us, because that's going to be so much more powerful for all of us than just crowding around in a little echo chamber and shaking and being negative about everything, So you've got to change the environment if you need to do that. You've got to delete those social media platforms off your phones. If it's putting you into a place of despair and negativity and the world is over, get out of there, because that's not correct. But you need to, how are you going to improve the world? You're going to improve it by being a better person yourself, and start by making your bed, right? Like, number one, take care of your room, take care of your bed, and win all these days. And if we all do that, if we all do our best every day in our little worlds, the world will be a much better place.
Green light. Green light. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right. And if you want to know about the books, mate, that should be one thing that we should do, my bro, is start to pump these out on Insta. Start to share
mate.
the books,
We'll
show you
out.
the links. No excuses. If you find it hard to read, like I said, that was my challenge. I'm on to book number 6 now. I've also got 2 recommendations lined up. The 5th Agreement, mate, is out too. So we've read the 4 agreements. Incredible read in terms of philosophy, about spirituality. Take out of it what you will. I'm not going to enforce anything. It's going to be different things to different people. You will read it and accept it differently, but please take the time to read it. The people that have read it, it has been impactful for very different reasons, and I love that. So the 5th Agreement is one thing. Green Lights, Matthew McConaughey. The audio book, why I invested in the audio book was just the way he narrated it was just exceptional. All right, all right, all right, all right.
And then at the moment, we're all reading the Resilience Project, which is I was recommended by some people at my gym that I go to. And I started listening. I was like, oh, it's a bit of a slow start. I couldn't really get. I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. But there was definitely, I mean, I'm in it quite a bit now, and there's some beautiful stories. There's some ups and downs. There's some parts that got the old emotions moving quite a bit. I'll admit, this morning when I was out doing my hour walk in the dark, and I was like, I mean, some laughter, some, some tears, close to some tears there. It was pretty good, Like, so I'm really enjoying that, and I really enjoy what it represents. So I'm going to dive deep into that one as well.
And that's where I drew on that gratitude. I pulled that out on the morning when I was driving, listening to it, and I'm like, shit, yeah. And straight away, I adopted that. And I've been sharing it. And as Cody was saying, point and shoot, recognize those moments as they happen. Don't just get and debrief and forget about them. Recognize it. If there's someone, go, fuck, I appreciate you. This is amazing. This is an awesome place to be. Man, I love the place that I work in. How lucky am I? Well, luck, you make your own luck to a certain extent. Give yourself the credit for being there. The one thing I did love about the Green Lights, Matthew McConaughey, I actually took the time to start to read the back end of it a couple of times. So in terms of the audio book, and what I found myself doing is when I started to recognize and it became familiar, I knew I had it locked in. Because there's one thing, audiobooks is a danger that you can drift through and miss a couple of critical parts. So the benefit, I say, challenge yourself to listen more than once. Challenge yourself to read it more than once. If it doesn't sync, there may be a couple of things that you've missed because you drifted for a moment. And I did that. The one thing that I really loved was about, investing time in watering the garden. Especially those around you, watching them flourish and thrive, because we're backed up. It's all about the weeds, right? We get stuck in the weeds. Rip the weeds out, push them to one side, invest the time and love and happiness, invest the time in time itself, water the garden of those around you. Like I said before, be the light in the room, be the sunshine, be the happiness that people turn to. If you're having a fucking hard day and a hard time, it's okay. It will get better. Okay? It will get better. The sun will always rise. The sun will always set. There will always be darkness, but it's always followed by light. Find a person to talk to. If you can't, if you are struggling, and a wonderful lesson in that book, mate, with old Luke, with the Lucas, with the resilience project, where a phone call when someone was definitely struggling, and those are the moments where we need to say, hey, are you okay? Let's catch up. It's easy just to say, are you okay, and someone to say nah on the phone. It's different when you're looking them in the eye and say, hey mate, let's just go have a coffee. I'll come and see you. That's oh, I'm busy, I can't. I'll come and see you. And if that's still a no, if you know someone's struggling, go and knock on the door. Okay, it's important. We just don't know what people are going through. You have no idea. Outwardly, people can be all smiles. Internally, it's different. It's different. So we need to care, not just once in a lifetime, but every day. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you live that, if you are that energy, it's infectious.
Yeah, that's right.
And infectious is a relevant word because there's a lot of infectious stuff around at the moment. But the most infectious things, love. What is the infectious nature of this virus? What is that unlocked? Connection.
Yeah.
Okay. The importance of connecting, the importance of these conversations, the importance of these moments, the importance of looking out for each other.
Yeah.
And that's what we all need to do. We need to take the responsibility. Like Cody and I, we believe that the world can be a better place. We know that the world must be a better place. We are the population. We are the people. We are the inhabitants. And it may start with one voice or two voices, but you need to take the responsibility yourself. Like I say, if you see bullshit happening, if you see negative talk, shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't become a part of it. Yeah.
Don't become a part of it. Don't just stand there and nod your head. Be brave enough in a conversation, especially. You know, there was a bit about gossip.
Yeah.
Agreements.
Gossip. Yeah. Poison. Yeah.
Poison. Yeah. Like a virus in a computer. Shut that shit down. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own shit to deal with. If you find someone that's talking negatively, have a go at them. Prop them up. Okay, be positive, because I guarantee it's because they're threatened or they don't quite understand. If you hear someone say, oh yeah, man, he or she's a freak, you go, yeah, man, they are awesome, eh? They are awesome. Celebrate the freaks.
Yeah. Got to
celebrate the freaks. And if you're a freak, man, like we said, good on you, mate. You are exceptional at what you do.
Freak me, baby. It's one of my favorite songs, mate.
Freak me, baby.
Freak me, baby. Anyway, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry.
That must be old school. Is that your theme song, mate? When you walk in the room, is that when you hear that?
Mate, the words are great. It's got good words. But another one, mate. Another one, as you said about being, you know, a smile, eh? Like it's amazing how infectious a smile can be. And again, if you're walking past someone, even today. A colleague and I were doing a short walk to a destination. We walked past some people and a couple of ladies walked past and just gave them a huge smile. And the smile in return was one of those of like kind of shock, but then also like, yeah, like, hi, like, hello, how are you? Like it was just such a cool exchange. And all you did was just smile at someone look, give them eye contact and a smile. And you don't know what's going on in their lives. You can't assume, making assumptions. We don't do that. That number one, they're all good, or number two, that they're going to be annoyed by your smile. Like, who cares? Number one, I'm just smiling because I'm having a nice walk and hi, how are you? And it could change someone's day. It could change someone's minute. It could be one of those, you know what? There are people out there who give a shit, who care, or who, you know, and it's awesome. So simple.
And it's a big night for me tonight. One of my rules / gym rules, my rule. Yeah. If you do not smile on the way out, you cannot get out. There is an 11-tooth minimum. 11-tooth minimum that I must see before you can check. And you see some people are like, what the actual is going on? But the amount of genuine smiles that come out of that room, because that's what it should be all about. Celebrating the effort, celebrating the fact that you showed up for the first thing. 50% done, bang, got in the room. Yeah. Made it.
Yeah.
I got this. Remember me? I got this. Yeah, 50% done. The rest is the experience, the moment, okay? Yeah. The mindfulness, enjoying, celebrating. Allow the moment to take you, okay? Invest in it and you'll be surprised how far it will take, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually. You will find the path that you're meant to be on in that moment, rather than thinking, I want to just kill myself physically. I want to go as many reps as I can. You might find yourself in this tune where you're just completely drawn to the music and the emotion, and that's what you needed in that moment. And then a byproduct of that, you walk out and it felt like 5 minutes long, and you are tapped. You have given everything you can because you are open to the moment, and you walk out and 11 teeth minimum. There it is. A little bit of a smile. Man. So if you can smile, and plus walk with your head up. Yeah. You're on this planet to be celebrated, and we celebrate you. We celebrate life. We flip and, Not to say we don't have challenges, mate, because we do.
That's why this thing, mate, exactly what you said. Look at the number one, your head down, your head is down. Try sitting like this and then looking up. Like your eyes in this position of your head doesn't feel good. It feels awful. It feels low. It doesn't feel, it's just and that's, imagine pulling your shoulders back, chin up, eyes up, like, oh man, like it's euphoric. It's so much better, and you can control that. Versus the phone controls that. It puts us down here straight away. You're already shutting things down. Like, how are you supposed to thrive like that?
If you haven't seen it, is it Staying Alive or Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta in the good old days, the disco era?
Fever, yeah.
The walk, when he's walking down the
strut.
That is us. The strut, eyes up. That awareness, looking at everybody, embracing the moment, enjoying it, feeling that theme song, that music, that energy.
Oh, so good.
Just, and people will look at you and go, what is wrong with that person? I say, what is right with this person?
Yeah,
if you think I'm a freak, you know.
Yeah.
And we know.
That's right. Yeah.
Celebrate it,
Mate, often you'll comment on people like that and say, look, that person knows where they're going. Like you see it and you actually go, look at them. Like you sort of, they know they're on a mission. They've got shit going on. They've got like things to be happening. They're loving life. It's motivational, man. I love it. So good.
Yep. Yeah, and recognize too that shit, maybe they had a bad day yesterday and they're on the upside, they're on the upswing, where they've just overcome a massive issue and that weight's been lifted, or they've let something go. And they're absolutely, the momentum is in their favor. And yesterday they were a bag of shit, like us all. Right. So maybe they're on the upswing. Celebrate those moments. If you are feeling good, there is nothing better than sharing that energy, because it is infectious. Like those little pinballs, the action versus the reaction. Okay, every action has an equal but opposite reaction. Just allow that reaction to be nothing but positive. Okay, again, positive input, you'll get a positive outcome. Will there be resistance in between? Nearly always, nearly always. And how many times do you say, what is wrong with that person? What's wrong with being happy? Well, shit, nothing, people. What's wrong with being energetic? Nothing, people. What's wrong with loving what you do and loving where you are and loving who you're with? Shit, nothing, people. Nothing. So go out and celebrate it, live it, suck it up, inhale it.
That comment,
like the best milkshake you've ever had, unless you're lactose intolerant.
No.
Let's just say it's a smoothie. But life's like the best milkshake you ever had, unless you're lactose intolerant. Good one, Adam.
Good luck. But it's that whole like using your words to fuel those situations as well. If you've got friends who are, you don't want to say, oh, why are you so happy today? Like, what's that all about? Like, and it's sort of snarky comment out, oh God, why are you so happy? It's like,
what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with her? Oh shit, I think she's actually happy and celebrating life, and she's real positive. What? You what?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh God. We should calm down a little bit.
High five that shit. Wash your hands, but high five it. We're still at, level 1 NZ. We can high five, pound it, pump it, celebrate it, and go, I love that. Celebrate it. Like the people you're with, just say, hey, thanks for yesterday. Like your energy, your attitude was amazing, and it picked me up when I was feeling like shit.
Yeah, that's right.
You want to be there. You want to be there. Some things we didn't sign up for, but can we adapt? Can we overcome? Can we amplify? Can we turn down that go back to that white noise? Can we turn down that white noise and overcome that with positive vibes and energy? Yeah, we can. Are we hype men? Could you call us that? But yeah, are we super positive? Yeah. Are we energetic? Yeah. Why? Because this, like we have always said, this is real for us. This means a lot to us, and that's why we feel as though we need to share it. We have to share it. It's what we were destined to do, right? Having the platform to do it is amazing. Having your guys' support out there, and the fact that you're coming to us and talking about it, that is making a difference. Man, we love it. I'm just swelling up right now thinking about it. You know what I mean? The impact that we can potentially have if it's one person. Like I say, share it. We're gonna invest the time. We're going to give everything we have to these moments, and always do your best. We will always endeavor to do our best, no matter what, no matter where we are. Our commitment is to you. Our commitment is to the content. Hit us up if you want us to talk about some stuff. There's some stuff, again, a conversation came for a group that's doing some amazing stuff through cycling in the community in New York. I'm going to do some research before I start talking about it, because I think it's incredible. People helping people through shared passion. These are the things that we need to be doing. Okay. Absolutely. We need to be aware that people are struggling. As nice as it is to feel great, as nice as it is at times to be doing well, there are people that are finding this period in life tough. There are people that may have just broken up. There are people that may have just been injured. There are people that have had their hearts broken. There are people that may have lost jobs. But again, the sun rises, the sun sets. Even in the darkest moment, there is always light, like that light at the end of the tunnel. You've got to believe it. Okay?
Got to keep pushing
You've
through.
got to believe it. And if you are struggling, talk to someone. If you want to talk to us, you'll find a way to talk to us, because we are here to talk to you. You're part of the journey with us, man. Absolutely. Humbled by the love and support. Subscribing doesn't take much. You're not signing up for a kidney. All you're doing is just hitting the subscribe button, maybe liking the content. That would be amazing. Again, it's not going to cost you $5, but what it does do for us is it just means that you guys are wanting to hear more.
That's right.
And we love that. But if there's one person, doesn't matter whether there's 3, doesn't matter whether there's 3,000, doesn't matter whether there's 30,000, take the time. Go back to the first one. Listen to the second one. Listen to the third one. We hope you really enjoy this one. It's been a good chat, hey?
Another one in the books, team. But yeah, good chats. I'm looking forward to the response. Weekly podcast. Next one will be up. We'll put this up and let us know what you think.
And the teasers. Let us know what you want to see. We are, what was it, 60 subscribers, you take your shirt off, hey bro? Was it?
Shit.
We're halfway there.
We're not far. We're
not far away. So
we'll do it.
Subscribe for the flex.
All right, team. Love your work. Thank you all for tuning in for episode number 4 of the podcast of the Deep and Meaningful Chats with Cody and Adam. Again, love your work. Thanks for being with us on this journey.
Peace out. We appreciate you. Peace.